We are just about to get the race restarted here at Rockingham Motor Speedway. A restart. The green flag has gone after the earlier accident, and it is time to get the race underway. Red lights are on, and red lights are out. Now, away we go. Great start by Nuttall. Andres Sinclair is in there behind him in second position. Third place, already a good start. As the rest of the field continue on their way, Russell trying to go round the outside. Portlock is in there as well. And up the inside comes, that looks to be Zaruta trying to make his way up into fourth position, and he looks like he's got a good shot at it. Mingoya's going to try and dive down the inside of both of them as they make their way through to the first corner. Effectively Dean. Andres Sinclair trying to go round the outside of Nuttall to try and get that lead off him. It's very close indeed. Really, really tight positions at the moment as they continue to fight their way through. It is not going to be easy from this position, but they swarm into Yentwood, and it is going to be a lead for Nuttall ahead of Sinclair. Portlock and Russell no longer scrapping over third place because Zaruta has split them.
Yeah, Mingoya had a terrible start. He's back down into about 8th position. I think that's Crawford he's trying to make his way past now. But Nuttall again made a brilliant start there, defended into Dean, and has got about 2 car lengths on Andres Sinclair, and there's Portlock and Ford. But Zaruta is the man on the move in the early stages. He's looking very, very racy early on as we turn right through Grayson's now. The tyres screeching, and Zaruta's setting up Portlock here for a move for third. Will we see him go up the inside? Portlock defends, Zaruta to the outside. He can't quite get alongside there, Jake, but I mean, Nuttall's not looking as quick as he was the first time round. Andres Sinclair looks very close going up to the chicane.
I wonder if Nuttall's bottle has gone there. Having seen that earlier accident from Evans, we understand that Evans has been taken to the medical centre for checks at the Rockingham Medical Centre. We don't know his condition. We only know that he is in the best possible hands to deal with the situation as they come through round the straight once again. Nuttall is your leader, second is Sinclair, Portlock third from Zaruta, Russell, Mingoya, Crawford is up to 6th place past Mingoya, so Crawford has got into 6th position, leaving Mingoya struggling.
Mingoya's got Weaver all over the back of him, and Weaver is looking to the inside, but Mingoya defends behind them. It's Sparshot, I think that is, trying to go around the outside of somebody.
Yes, Coulton has made his way up into 6th position in the 77. Now, Coulton is one of the drivers that went off with Evans in yesterday's race, and he has brought it all the way up into 6th position. Great driving from Coulton.
That's a fantastic drive, making positions early on. They've only got 15 minutes now after the red flag, so it's basically like the academy drivers get just a 15-minute race, so not a long time, and the front 4 are now starting to pull away from the rest, but also starting to bunch closer together. And Zaruta here looks in 4th place, looks very, very quick. Portlock seems to be responding to Zaruta's pace, and he is now challenging Andres Sinclair as we turn right through Grayson's for the second time after the restart.
And Nuttall does not have the same pace that he did over Andres Sinclair. He does have the lead, of course, but it's only 4 car lengths or so compared to the last time we were on the second lap of the race, when he had about 8 car lengths. So Nuttall is not having it as dominant as he was. And on the restart, of course, Sarah, it is going to be tricky for him to be able to build up that advantage, because they did have 10 minutes of racing, 10 minutes of tyre wear. It isn't going to be easy for him to get that same advantage as he had earlier on.
It is always difficult when you've had quite a long break for a red flag incident. You're also going to be thinking about, you know, the person that has had the accident and how they are, and you've got to try and put that completely out of your mind. But you've now got to deal with a car that isn't at its optimum because you've used 10 minutes of tyre wear. You've also the fuel's gone down, so that should help as well. But it's just getting to know what the car's going to do.
Andres Sinclair's crew, just watching him on the pit wall, Andres Sinclair's crew gave him the hurry up. They gave him the board to show him the times, and then they just nodded him through. It's like, come on, you can get him, you can get him. They are absolutely determined to push Andres Sinclair to the back of Stephen Nuttall. You're closer than you were last time. You can get him this time, come on.
Yeah, Coulton's all over the back of Russell now. He could be making his way through to the top 5 here. Mingoya defended that lap from Sparshot, and there's an off as well. Someone's gone off coming out of the Dean hairpin, trying to make out who that is. I think it was someone near Mingoya. So,
well, Mingoya was battling.
It was Weaver might have gone off. I'm not sure.
But Mingoya seems to have Weaver and Sparshot still there with him. Was that Masayada again that went off the road? He had problems yesterday, and it looks as though he's got more problems again today. Yellow flags waving on the exit of Dean hairpin, so it looks to me as though he's pulled off and out of the race, whoever that driver is. We'll have a look and see who it was in a short while.
Zaruta's all over the back of Russell. Portlock here, sorry. He looks very, very quick. Russell behind him is having to defend from Coulton. Coulton looking for the switchback. A spar shot, I think, loses another place, but behind Tony Mingoya. And yeah, look at Zaruta now. Portlock's having to defend into the final chicane. Zaruta looking very, very quick in these early stages, but he needs to get past Portlock. He's losing time now to Sinclair, who is going with Nuttall at the front, and they are starting to pull away. And just as I say that, I think Zaruta may have pulled alongside Portlock. And has he? They are side by side going into turn one. No, they're not. Portlock just has the edge over Zaruta, but Zaruta's staying right in his toe. And they come round. Portlock defends into Dean Hairpin. Zaruta trying to go for the outside. He's very late on the brakes, but Portlock defends and is able to hold on to third place for now. And this is just letting the two leaders, Sinclair and Nuttall, pull away.
Certainly is. There's a huge gaggle of cars battling for the lower positions in this race as well. The driver who lost it was Ledger, Simon Ledger in the 99. Now, I'm fairly certain that Ledger was one of the drivers who got caught up in that incident yesterday and was making his way up through the field as well. So interesting to see that Ledger has fallen out of the race as well. Fastest man on the track, it's Nuttall, but crucially by only a tenth of a second. Sinclair is keeping him very honest. It is now starting to look like it's a bit of a rerun of yesterday, and the track has cooled again. There is more cloud cover across the race circuit. Yes, Zaruta on the inside of Gracelands. That's a brave move if he can make it stick, and Portlock is going to try his best to hold it round the outside and keep the inside line for Tarzan. They're side by side all the way down to the Tarzan hairpin. Portlock tucks in for the inside line. Now here comes Zaruta getting the switch back. They're going to be side by side again, are they? No, Portlock slices across. You are not getting past there, mate. And fantastic racing. Mingoya has just lost 7th place to Crawford. Crawford is through and up for 5th position. Is that a move? No, Coulton just can't quite make his move on Russell. Great battles, and now Crawford is going to make his move on the inside. Oh, that was close. There was a little bit of contact, I think, between Crawford and Coulton. Great racing here.
Yeah, and it's back on for third now. Zaruta again trying to go around the outside of turn one of Portlock. He can't quite make it stick as we got Mingoya and Crawford side by side through turn one.
Mingoya
and spar shots in there as well.
Yeah, Mingoya has 2 wheels over the line trying to get back past Crawford. And look at spar shot. He dives for both of them on the inside of Dean. Can he get past both of them in one move? Yes, he does. Beautiful move, and there's collision in front of them. There's a collision in front of them. That's Russell and Coulton. They've come together. Russell has dropped back to the back of the queue. Russell in trouble then. And that is a bit of a disaster for Coulton. He's already got himself in a bit of an incident, and he's now got caught up with Russell. And that has really changed the dynamic. Russell rejoining at about 12th position in this race. And a big spin through Chapman's. Goodness me, avoiding action taken there. That was close. I think that was Masayada losing it through Chapman's corner and dropping to the back. But great avoiding action taken by Hayden and Sawyer.
I think Zaruta is that Zaruta? No, it's not Zaruta. It's in third place. So he made that move.
Yeah, it is Zaruta. Didn't quite see where he got past Portlock. I think we were looking too close at what happened at Chapman's to see where Zaruta got through. Maybe he got through just on the inside of the left-hander on the run out of Biff Path. He might have just been bold and made the move right at that point. So bit of a tricky situation there.
So we've got 2 groups of 2 now at the front. So we've got Nuttall out in front leading. Who's that? He's in second.
Well, Sinclair's still there in second position trying to chase him down, but there's not much between them.
Yeah, so yes, Nuttall and Sinclair are in front and behind them. We have the second.
Sinclair is now the fastest man. Sinclair is now the fastest man, so there is nothing between Nuttall and Sinclair, and Sinclair knows that Nuttall is not getting away from him as quickly as he was last time. Yeah. Nuttall is under pressure here. Sinclair breaks much later into Dean Hairpin. This is where he's making up the time.
And that's Russell now on a recovery, trying to go up the inside of Mingoya. Couldn't quite make it through there. So yeah, we have 2 groups of 2 at the front, and then about a 5-car battle for 5th place, that is, currently being led by, I believe that is Coulton, isn't it? That's leading that group at the moment, but he's got spar shot all over the back of him. So yeah, so it's really exciting, really good action here. It's all go here for the Tracksport as usual.
As usual, great spins, thrills and spills, and great dicing. And there is a great dice going on at the moment between Crawford, Mingoya and Russell, who has moved himself into 9th position, and he's trying to get himself back in touch with the leading battle, but Sinclair has reeled in Nuttall. It is getting close for the lead of this race here. Nuttall, the back end stepping out a little bit through Gracelands, and you can hear the tyres screeching on Nuttall's car as Andres Sinclair closes in on him into Tarzan, and I wonder if Nuttall has got any tyres left. I think he's losing control of the car through Gracelands. We can hear the tyres screeching a lot more from Nuttall than anybody else. I think Sinclair might have kept his car well enough in reserve in the first race to have an attack at him in this second restart.
And I think psychologically as well, it's always easier to chase somebody than be chased. So Sinclair can just see him in his sights, and he's just got the bit between his teeth, and he's just chipping away at him.
The 5-minute board goes out, so it is really starting to get interesting out there for the drivers. They know that it's now or never, and Sinclair will see that as a golden opportunity. He is reeling Nuttall in. He's gone faster by 0.3 of a second on the last lap. We've got a battle too between Coulton and Sparshot. Here he goes, round the outside. Andres Sinclair is going to beat into the braking zone round the outside. Sinclair takes the lead round the outside of Dean Hairpin. Sinclair and Nuttall, he slices across. No, you don't, mate. I've just got this lead. I'm not going to let you take it back. And Stephen Nuttall's 100% strike rate at Rockingham this weekend could be about to come to a close. This is brilliant stuff.
That was a fantastic move. He was so late on the brakes that he actually managed to turn in before Nuttall had even got there. It was absolutely fantastic.
So Nuttall is now going to play catch-up himself. Sinclair has shot an arrow into the side of Nuttall's attack here in this race weekend, and it is up to him to unplug it and throw it back in his face. He has got to try and make that move back again into Gracelands. Nuttall is pushing hard, trying to get back on terms with him. Again, the tyres screech. He has to be more tentative through Gracelands than Sinclair does. I think Sinclair has got more in reserve here than Nuttall has.
Yeah, he might well do. Nuttall's pushing very, very hard. Now, with the tow, will Nuttall be able to keep close to Andres Sinclair? And if they continue battling, we also have Zaruta and Portlock not too far behind. So we could see a four-way scrap for the lead here if this continues.
Well, there's a four-way scrap for 7th position at the moment, because Crawford, Mingoya and Russell have now been caught by Weaver, with Hayden in 11th, Sawyer in 12th, Hume, Richterink, Taylor and Masayada in the remaining positions.
Nuttall looks like he's going to come back. Andres Sinclair here, he's towing him round the first corner. He's closing ever closer, ever closer. Andres Sinclair looks like he's defending Nuttall. Nuttall's going to go to the outside, but Andres Sinclair looks so strong on the brakes, doesn't he?
Sinclair knows exactly when to get the brakes nailed for Dean Hairpin. I think he spent the practice in qualifying earlier nailing that last.
And there's a move, sorry Jake, there's a move for 5th place there. Sparshot has lost 5th place to Coulton, so they must have swapped places earlier on, but Sparshot fights straight back into Yentwood, gains that place back, so an interesting battle. Where do we look, Jake? There's battles going all the way
spot on the money. Yeah, you're right, Chris. It was a very nice battle there between Sparshot and Coulton, and they are swapping positions almost at every corner, and they've got a chasing pack of dogs behind them as well, because Crawford, Mingoya, Russell and Weaver have now been joined by Hayden, who is closing in on the back of them, and Sawyer is not far away either in 12th position, so this could end up being a 7-8 car brawl for 5th position if we're not careful, which is fairly straightforward for Caterham racing. It tends to happen a lot, but it's still fantastic for us to see as a spectacle. Sparshot once again trying to keep Coulton at bay, and Nuttall seems to have found a second wind here. He is coming back at Andres Sinclair, who is the fastest man of the race so far, having done a 1:42.1 compared to Nuttall's 1:42.2. So Sinclair is the fastest man, and Nuttall is not giving up here. 1 minute 27 seconds left. That means, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the final lap here at Rockingham.
Yeah, Andres Sinclair just hasn't looked as comfortable out in front as Nuttall did, but like you said, it's the last lap now, so it's all to play for here for 1st place and also for 3rd place as the router is being attacked by Portlock. But here we go, Nuttall round the outside. Is he going to get there side by side going down to the Dean hairpin? Nuttall sold him the dummy, has he?
That was very close. Nuttall being very careful to try and get the right line on Andres Sinclair, but Sinclair is wise to the manoeuvre. He might go deep here. No, he doesn't. He's got himself stopped nicely for Dean Hairpin. Stephen Nuttall wants to make it a 100% win in every session. He got qualifying nailed. He got race 1 nailed, but Andres Sinclair is looking likely to be the fault in the ointment here. He is really starting to work his way through these corners here. Nuttall sliding around, there's inches between them, and Nuttall, he's desperate to get back past He tries to move around the outside of Andre Sinclair. He's so close. There's millimetres between them, and there's a great fight developing for 5th position as Sparshot and Coulton get closed in by Crawford, Mingoya, Russell, Weaver, and in 11th place Hayden. Nuttall right on the tail of Andres Sinclair. He might make a slingshot move into Tarzan hairpin on this last lap. It's all going to be about who breaks later for this
and
corner.
He's sold him
Nuttall's
the dummy.
Going for
He's
it.
sold him
down
the dummy.
Inside, and he's taken him.
Wow.
But Sinclair's going to try and get the undercut off the corner. Nuttall and Sinclair side by side.
Nuttall's got the inside just about for the chicane, but
can
he's sold him the dummy.
Sinclair cut across him before they get there? No, Nuttall's going to go down the inside. Sinclair's going to keep it together. It's going to be close. Nuttall goes round the outside. Nuttall tucks in for the inside line. Round the final corner. Nuttall's going to try and drive right round the outside. He's lost time. He swings back. He loses the back end of the car. Nuttall's done it. Nuttall gets it. Fantastic victory. Stephen Nuttall gets it at the end there. Andres Sinclair came so close and yet so far. Zaruta is 3rd. Portlock is 4th. That is the best finish to a race I have ever seen at Rockingham.
Yeah, I've got to say, Andres Sinclair expected Nuttall to go for the outside, so he left the door open on the inside, and Nuttall just done the old sold him the dummy. Looked like he was going to go for the outside, switched across under braking, which is so hard to do in these cars, to manage to keep that under control. And then they were side by side from then all the way to the line. And what a drive by Nuttall. We thought that he'd lost it, but he showed us why he is won every session of the weekend.
Okay, I've got my driver of the day sorted out from the track sports. It's Nuttall. I just cannot believe he came back from the jaws of defeat and snatched the victory in the style he did. Excellent racing.
That was stunning. I really thought Sinclair might have had it. He'd been so good on the brakes. When it came down to the last chicane, I thought he would just have enough to be able to sneak in front, but they went absolute side by side through the last chicane, and then unfortunately Sinclair just lost the back end coming out onto the banking, and that was it. Fantastic.
That is do or die racing in the best possible style, and that was what Caterham racing is all about. It's so close, it's so tight, and the racing is just biblical. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, they were both just so eager to get the power down coming out there, and I think Andres Sinclair just got a bit too eager. He knew that he might have thrown that race away, and I think he just gunned it, and yeah, he got a bit sideways, but in the end, what a drive and what a race. It's a shame that that's the end of them for the weekend though, isn't it? Definitely going to be tuning in next round.
Well, I'm sure there'll be more from them the next time Downforce Radio gets involved with the Caterhams, and I'm hoping that this isn't the last time, because they've put on a spectacular show so far. We do still have more Caterhams on offer for you over the course of the day. We have 3 more races left on the bill. We have the HRDCs next, and then after them it is the Caterham Academy, followed by the last pickup truck race of the weekend. So there is more where that came from, you'll be delighted to hear. And that means we've got 3 races left on the bill, and it's time for the long one. It's time for a bit of a social banter and chatter over the next 45 minutes with driver changes and some interesting strategies, because the next one out on track is the HRDC All-Stars, and it is going to be quite a spectacular battle. Join us after the break. We'll be back with all the action.